Good morning. I'm Lisa McGarry. This is the Celebrate podcast.
And I'm Della Tootin.
And today we have a guest speaker, Chuck Christensen. He's the CFO at Trade PMR, and he's going to talk to us today about direct primary care and why it's been important at his business. And things have been going great. We got to do some COVID vaccines, like you guys know, a couple weeks ago, and Chuck got to get one of those, right?
Good morning. Yes, I did. How are y'all?
Good, thanks.
Good.
Doing good.
Yeah, so we're going to talk to Chuck today. Like Lisa said, a few questions about what direct primary care has meant to their business and what it could mean for your business. And then we wanted to let you know next week we're going to talk about the impact of COVID and mental health, and we're hopefully going to have a speaker or two that's going to come on and help us, kind of talk through that, people that are in the mental health industry specifically. And as always, we want to thank Elio for doing our podcast with us. So we're going to go ahead and get started today. So,
all right, Chuck. So tell us a little bit about what you do at Trade PMR and how you came to us.
Well, I'm the Chief Financial Officer, and we've been with with Celebrate for about 5 or 6 years. And it was about that time our healthcare costs were increasing 15 to 20% per year, and I was looking around for some alternatives to combat the price increases that were going on every year. And one of the alternatives that I had looked at was using a self-insurance, but found out real quick because of our size we weren't really a good candidate. But one of the components with using self-insuring was having a primary care facility, and that's when I started looking around and I found Celebrate that we could use primary care for. So we combined Celebrate primary care with a very high deductible health insurance, and we were able to cut our cost and get a lot of interest from our employees. And as an added benefit, the service at Celebrate has been great. So everyone has been really happy. I'm very happy with the price savings. I'm very happy with the service. And we've been with you guys now for 5 years.
yeah.
Yeah.
You were talking about when you were going through the insurance, you talked about the insurance rate kept going up by 15, 20% every year on annual renewals.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was unbearable, and the only option is to, from what I found, was to increase the deductible or decrease the services. And we had a number of employees that just wasn't going to work for. So we found you guys as an option, and as a cost savings between a high deductible and low deductible is $200 to $300 a month per employee, and so we're able to provide. Since we pay for the primary care for all of our employees, we're able to provide free primary care for the employees, plus offer them either a high deductible or low deductible.
Yeah.
If they go with the high deductible, we pay for it. If they go with the low deductible, we do not. But I think we've gone from 13 employees when we first started the offering to over 40, 50 employees now that they're with you. And all of them are very happy with the service.
Well, you talked about when you looked at this, it was from a pure financial outlook. And you didn't really know that much about direct primary care, but in your experience and your employees' experience, you said that's shifted somewhat. While it is still makes financial sense, it has also been surprising to you about how amazing that service is that you guys have received.
Well, here's the first thing that I noticed. The first step when I came on, and all of our employees, and still to this day, you do blood work, you do lab work, and you establish a baseline so you can evaluate where we are health-wise. And the thing that I like most about you guys is your focus on keeping us healthy versus treating an ailment or something like that. Also, very convenient is being able to get our prescriptions, and the cost of prescriptions through you guys is actually lower than using our deductible at the pharmacy.
Awesome.
Yeah, it's great.
Yeah, we love to hear that. So, that is important that we want to share with other business owners, and that's why we wanted to talk to Chuck today and let him know that, this can be your situation and that we can help save you money and pair it up. And you have you didn't go with a self-funded platform. You did traditional health insurance.
That's right. We to this day, we have two offerings. We have a low deductible and a high deductible. Mm-hmm. With a high deductible, an employee can also elect a health savings account, which we also sponsor, and we also fund for that group. We've been able to use the savings to fund health savings accounts for people, and I think the break-even point from a deductible standpoint is like 14 months. If someone goes with a high deductible, they have enough money in a health savings account pay for their deductible, cover any deductible that they would have. Of course, that would reset every 14 months if they have an illness and they have to dip into it. But we've had very few people that's occurred for,
which is great for them. Now, have you noticed any difference in your rate increases since you've been with Celebrate?
The standard, 15%. I mean, they just gone. It doesn't seem to stop.
Yeah. Well, we've had some businesses that have told us that their rates have either stayed the same or not been the same amount of increase. Some have actually said they've gone down, so that's what we were curious about. I wanted to know, too, do you offer one particular, is it what is your platform? What is your insurance carrier?
We use Blue Cross.
Okay, yeah. So Blue Cross, that's really common here in the Gainesville, greater Gainesville area. Mm-hmm. So that's what I was curious about, and that that plan does pair well with direct primary care. So good, awesome.
Yeah.
So go ahead.
Yeah. So we love to talk about the COVID vaccine, right? It's the hot topic right now.
Yeah.
And at Celebrate, we did get a few doses to use with our patients over 65, and our friend Chuck, I know he's super young looking, but actually qualified, and did take the shot. So Del and I were curious, what prompted you to say yes? I know a lot of people are skeptical, and tell us about why you wanted to go ahead and get the vaccine.
Well, I just want to get vaccinated. I'd like for everyone who thinks it's right for them to get vaccinated, so we can move forward as a country. It's just crippling our country right now, and I think whether you've caught the virus and are over it, and have some form of vaccination by nature, I think that's great. As the more people that can be vaccinated or catch it and get over it, and be healthy, I think the better off we're going to be. So I just want to get mine as soon as possible, and it just worked out great for me. I think I'm 2 weeks into it and had no side effects. My arm ached for a day, but I didn't really even notice it unless I touched it. So it didn't even hurt. It just ached.
Chuck told us a funny story before we came on, because I wanted to know, about his experience with the vaccine. So when the health department came to our practice, they did leave us with a handful of excess vaccine with very specific instructions that we had to only give it to people who were 65 and older, and that was the qualifier. So we kind of started going through and reaching out to some of our members, and Chuck was one of the people. But Chuck, tell us again, what happened when you went back and you said, "Hey, I got vaccinated."
Well, I had a couple of people that were kind of mad because they said, "How'd you get ahead of the line?" And I was like, "What do you mean? I'm almost 67 years old, and I've got diabetes. I'm overweight. I mean,
Check all the boxes.
I'm a candidate. I checked all the boxes."
But you look so great and so young. They had no idea that you were, 66 years old. They thought, "Come on."
Yeah.
So Yeah.
So he
Anyway.
did not jump the line. He definitely qualified, and we were happy to provide that for him.
Yeah,
Yeah.
for sure.
So, that's,
Anyway, someone has to be first, right?
Yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah.
and our staff got vaccinated, and we feel good about that. And we were talking off camera that Della actually has antibodies, and I have very faint ones. She has a really good antibodies already 2 weeks afterwards, so we're going to get check-in and check his.
Yeah.
Because it just helps with not being as worried, and we think that's super important for everybody, traveling and trying to live a life, right?
Absolutely.
And we all received the same vaccination, which was the Moderna. And then we'll all be due again the early first week of February. Yeah, first week of February we'll be due again for our next round, and then hopefully moving on.
Yeah.
Will that shot, or I mean, will that occur automatically? The second round?
They'll bring it to us, and then we'll call
Okay.
you, just
Got
like
it.
we did last time.
Yeah. But they're obligated, is my
Yes.
my
Yeah, they'll
question.
come back
Okay.
to us.
Yeah, I think when they give you the first set, they put aside that exact amount for you for the next one. So it's not like they're waiting on a shipment. I think that they tried to, bundle
Yeah.
it that way.
I was wondering how that was going to work, but that's good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Alachua County's done a great job. I'm amazed. We're per capita the most vaccinated so far. So I think the Alachua County Emergency Management's done a good job, and we appreciate them coming to us and providing it to us and communicating well. And the women that came were very helpful and kind, and educated us, and it was nice to have that. So I'm impressed that they did such a good job. So
Excellent. Excellent.
yeah. So Chuck, a little bit about, just your experience as a Celebrate member. You talked a little bit about being able to get labs done, and you talked a little bit about the price of medications. What are some other things that you have found beneficial about being a Celebrate member?
Well, I like being able to either text you guys or, I can always call the office. But even if there's an issue, I can take a picture of something, an injury or cut or something, and text it in, and you guys respond very quickly as to whether or not it's something serious I either need to come in for, or you either refer me out to a specialist. So that's been very helpful for me. Again, the pricing of the prescriptions, I've heard a number of our people talk about blood work that they were having to do quarterly. And one of the ladies told me she was spending $300 a quarter, and the first time she got her blood work done, it was $30, and she was just like, I can't believe it. Yeah. It was just the difference in pricing. And that's what you get when you have a membership. You're able to provide all of these services because, you're staying in business and making your money from membership fees, not from, drug prices or whatever else that you have to sell to stay in business.
Yeah.
So it's great for delivery of medicine. This model could go across the country easy enough.
Right.
It's a great way to prescribe primary care.
Right. Well, we talked about that a little bit earlier, and that's always our goal, is to be a solution. And we think that we could be a model for the country.
Yeah.
Not that we want to get into government medicine. We don't, but we think that this is a reasonable, rational, common sense approach to primary care. And you agreed with that.
Oh, absolutely. Mathematically it works, providing primary care, and I could see that instead of socialized medicine, if we had a way to provide primary care to everyone, the government can, as a society, we can afford to do that. I don't know that we can afford, true socialized medicine for everything, but for primary care, and if they took the same approach that you guys take, keeping your people healthy, it'd be great.
Yeah. So you also talked about primary care, which is what we are, and you had mentioned through your time with us, going on 6 years, that you've had to have some medical care from specialists, and we've been able to refer you on to those people. And so can you kind of talk about that for your experience not about your medical specifics, but about, that we've been able to get you to where you need to go.
Absolutely. You'd refer me to somebody, you'd set the appointments up, send me the information, I would call them and go over there. If something, wasn't just right, they could call you back and you'd fax over or text over any orders that they needed to check me out. But I've done that 5 or 6 times. I've had a couple of surgeries, minor stuff, but it worked out great. It was very transparent, honestly.
Good. Yeah, that's what we definitely want to do for people. A lot of times people think, I only need this, and hopefully most people only do need this, but we do, we want people to know that we will get them, help them get to where they need to go and refer them just like if they were in any traditional practice setting.
But better, because they actually know what's going on. There's communication, there's follow-up, there's finishing, it's about the experience, right, with Celebrate. So for us, it's super important to be a medical home, which is what we feel like we are for you guys, right? It's like...
Absolutely. I'm going to hate it when I retire and don't have you, to be honest.
You can have us. It's fine. You can keep us. You don't have to go. Yeah. We would love to have you forever.
Yeah, we don't want you to retire. Nobody knows how old you are anyway, Chuck.
Right, they already
think. We'll keep it that way.
Yeah, for sure.
Oh, that's so funny.
What other questions do you have today, Lisa?
So what percentage do you know, off the top of your head or even close to, what percentage of your employees take advantage of Celebrate?
Well, at this point, I think that we probably have a 65-35 split. There are a number of employees that a low deductible, or actually the high deductible, will not work for them. They have issues, health issues. So that's some of them are just scared.
Just different, right? It's a change.
Or maybe I haven't done as good of a job explaining, the math to them. That could be as well. But for some of the employees that I know of, it's too scary for them to get away from the low deductible traditional.
Yeah. And that's okay. And we know that for people, and we appreciate the opportunity. We talk to some business owners, and they do provide insurance, but there's sometimes a low participation rate. So we say, well, we definitely need to talk to them about Celebrate and healthcare sharing and other options that financially might work for the employees. You guys are in an awesome position, and your employees are very well taken care of at Trade, which is awesome. You guys,
right.
Great benefits.
But I mean, if no one had any benefits, this would be a great option for just people.
Yeah. And like she said, we always appreciate the opportunity because, a lot of times people don't participate in any program and they still need care.
They do.
Yeah.
And that's what I mean as far as nationally, this would be a great option, even if somebody had vouchers, people had government vouchers and they could elect what primary care facility they would use. You still have to service them or they go elsewhere.
Right.
And you can't take the consumer out of the mix.
Right.
I mean, we'll end up with, a problem like we have with student loans or like with health care right now with insurance. The patients are they're conduits and the students are just conduits. The money never passes through their hands. They're not true consumers.
Right.
And if you give people vouchers or options to choose where they want to go, you're still going to compete as a business to keep free enterprise in this mix.
Yeah,
that's true.
For sure. It keeps us on our toes. It makes us remember service, customer service, care.
It's about the experience.
Yeah.
Otherwise, it's the DMV.
Correct, and we don't want to be that. No, we do not want to be that.
Nobody loves that experience, right?
Nobody loves that experience.
Nobody's signing up for extra time at the DMV.
No.
At least they have those numbers now. I feel like that's a little bit better than the line of the olden days. So, but no numbers that Celebrate. You got a person, and we'll take care of you, and and they know your name when you come in, and they're always happy to see you, and that's important to us. We that's the level of service we want to provide.
If someone, even I've had prescriptions before, and you have a lockbox system that I can drop by and pick them up. So I'm not on your schedule always.
Yeah.
So that's a helpful service that you have.
I want to ask you, in your business, how has COVID impacted the employees being able to come to work, and have any of them come and utilized our testing services for COVID, any of those kind of things?
I've had a couple of employees that have told me that that they were around someone who had COVID, and I would immediately send them over or call you guys and see if you could take them to do testing, because we've been lucky. We've been able to do a lot of work from home, a lot, but the people that are still there everyone is affected by this. I mean, everyone knows someone who's been in contact or who's had it, and so we still have to maintain the cleaning that we would have with 75 people in the office versus the 10 or 12 people that are in there today. We still have to keep that level of cleanliness going and disinfecting everything. So that part hasn't changed, but we've been able to work from home, and we've been lucky because of what we do.
Yeah. What percentage of your people are working from home, would you say?
80%, 85%.
Yeah,
That's
it's
awesome.
nice that you can do that for them. Yeah. We have an employee that just lost a family member to COVID, and we've got friends that, have lost loved ones as well. It's been a crazy time.
Mm-hmm.
And so, I know that it's impacting all of us, but that's nice that you guys can let them work from home. We have tried to protect, our staff and our patients, our members, and try to, do all the safety protocols that we can, but, we still have to see patients and live. And so we've managed that by kind of rotating our crew. And but the good thing about us is that even through all of this, we're still offering care and medicine and contact and access. And we know a lot of practices that haven't been able to continue to do that because they haven't been able to make the shift to being offering telemedicine in the way that we've been doing already since 2015. So when this all came on, we're like, we got you.
Yeah.
Which is a comfort, I think, for people to know that they still have their person even when things are a little bit sideways out there, right?
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah. So we definitely want to thank Chuck for being with us today. It was super fun.
Yes.
We appreciate your insights, and I like how you look at stuff from the financial side, because we're the touchy-feely ones, right? Like, it's fun and you love us, right, Chuck? And he's like, yeah. We save a lot of money. I love it. It's great. We're going to have, hopefully we'll have somebody on next week. Regardless, Della and I can talk about the mental health side all day, because that's what we've been trying to help our members with, is getting to a good place even in this stressful time. And so that's what we're going to be talking about. We want to thank again Elio for producing our podcast with, is it Fiesta Media? Fiesta Media. It's been fun and we're really enjoying it. So we will see you guys next week. Thanks a lot.
Thanks. See you next time.
Thank you.